my summer classes. I was gonna be late to said summer classes, so I was speeding. I turned the corner of the highway, the cop was there. He was just on the side of the highway minding his own business off his motorcycle. I turn the thing of the highway, I see him, he sees me, he gets on his bike, and I'm like, fuck. And I got a $300 speeding ticket for being late to class, and it was even later to class. I literally spent $300 plus parking, which was $850 to go to 15 minutes of my class.
I go around, I go around, and I go around, and I go around.
So I'm like crying from that, but I was like, you know, let's film a video to feel a tiny bit better. So I got myself a little coffee because it was like, you deserve it after the shit that you went through. Yeah, if you've never seen my face before, that's like a weird opening. But my name's Mila. I make everything from like college, sorority, lifestyle, bookish type content. It's a fun vibe. It's a fun vibe. It's a good time. My brain kind of bugged. I was like, do I want to say it's a fun vibe? Do I want to say it's a good time? I don't know. It's a fun vibe. I didn't buy these books like recently. I bought them back. I think the latest book the latest book I bought was in January because I just needed it for my mental health. And I told myself, okay, you're gonna read over 100 books this year. Like, you're gonna read all of these books on your shelf so you can buy them because you're gonna read them this year. And I don't know if you saw my latest video, but I no I read like 10 books this entire year. I don't know why I keep on talking. You guys are here for a book haul. I'm just like talking. So let's get into the book haul and I'll talk about my life at the end because you guys it's been 5 minutes. I've just been talking about my life. So welcome to my life if you're new here. So we have the one by John Mars, and I think Sarah Caroli talked about this, but even before her, I knew I wanted to read this because there's this show on Netflix where, if I remember correctly, through like science and like DNA, you find like your perfect match, and it's a thriller. Honestly, I watched like the trailer for the show on Netflix like once, and I was like, oh my god, like it's a book. I have to read the book first and watch this. That's all I know. It's like a thriller. Through a DNA test, you find your like soulmate or something like that. And you follow, I think, 5 different couples. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it just seemed cool and fun, and I was like, I want to pick it up. I want to read it. I want to see what it's about. I don't know when I'm gonna get to this. I'll probably save some thrillers for October and then just do like a reading vlog for that, because I've been like looking at my schedule for the next year, and I don't know when I'm gonna find the time to do things because I'm taking like 17 credits in the fall. Most of my classes have labs, so that's like even more work. And with my job in the sorority, plus I do want to run for like a higher up position, and I know that's going to be like a lot of time, or like I just have to like prove that I'm like going to be good for that position. I don't want to tell you guys in case like it doesn't happen. I don't want to like jinx it, but I know that I've put so much effort into my sorority, into my school. I'm going to get a job, and I don't know. Good vibes, just peaceful, calm, good vibes. I'm sorry if you're new here. This is I'm a mess, but that's what makes my videos entertaining. And next we have The Wife Between Us by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I read, what's it called? An Anonymous Girl by them, and it was so good because it was so just like psychological. You never really knew what to believe. You thought like one thing was going on, but then no, actually there's this. And just like, it was like, I took this like horror class in, like, for me it's CJUP, for everyone else I think it's like grade, I want to say 10, and we kind of looked at the difference between horror and like thriller. So horror is more like shock value, or like just like shock value and just like a sudden thing that goes on. No, terror versus horror, and terror is more like the build of the suspense and everything. And like out of all the thrillers I read, that one did terror the best. So when I found out that this duo wrote another book, and I'm like, I definitely want to read it. Over here, like, I'm gonna read you the back because I love how it's described. When you read this book, you will make many assumptions. You will assume you are reading about a jealous ex-wife. You will assume she's obsessed with her replacement, a beautiful younger woman who is about to marry the man they both love. You will assume you know the anatomy of this tangled love triangle. Assume nothing. And I'm like, yes, I love. Like, I hope this lives up to everything that I got from an Anonymous Girl. and I'm very excited to read this. Next, we have The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I feel like I don't even have to describe this because everyone knows what it's about. But if you don't, so basically you have Rowan, he is inheriting, I think, something from his grandfather, and and for his inheritance, he has to take over this like Disney World type park and manage it for I think a small amount of time. And then Zara, she's a employee, and I think she like accidentally sends like, how do I say it? It's like an email, like not an email, like an email that's like low-key like passive aggressive, but it's like, these are the problems, like fix it or something like that. That's what I think. And then they meet, it's their story, and I've heard only amazing things from this book. I'm just so excited to read this. I just read my first Lauren Asher book, and I love her. I literally just went like, boom. I love her writing style, and I'm super excited to get to this. I feel like I'm gonna say that about every single book, when I realistically do not know when I'm gonna get to it. But we shall see. Then we have Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan, and everyone says, like, don't go into this expecting, like, a cute sports romance, because it does deal with, abusive relationships, like, I think physical abuse, but, yeah, I don't know that much about it, but so many people say that it's a really good, like, it is a heavy book, but it's a really good book, so it's, like, I definitely want to check it out. I'm not a fan of the cover, but, you know, I feel like this could be a potential, maybe a 5-star. Like, again, I don't know how deep it goes into the whole abuse thing, but I don't want to say I'm excited to find out, because I literally just said it talks about abuse, but I'm intrigued. I feel like that's a better word. I'm intrigued to see what it's about. This book, I honestly just went into, Indigo, and I saw it, and I'm like, this looks intriguing. So this is called The Game, and let me read you the synopsis. I don't have like that big of a synopsis, but I'll just read you the back so you guys can see like what I got from this book. Across the globe, 5 strangers receive a horrifying message from an unknown number. The person you love most is in danger. To save them, each must play the game. A sinister, unknown entity that has a single rule. There can only be one winner. If you lose, your loved one will die. But what is the game? And what have they been and why have they been chosen? There's only one thing each of them know for sure. They'll do anything to win. Welcome to the game. You just started playing. I know there's a movie that came out like a while ago, and it kind of gave me the same vibe as this, and I'm like, I'm so excited. And just like how the cover is like this like hangman type thing. Honestly, from over here, it's like the rules are simple. To save their life, you have to play. It's kind of giving me like End of Nerve vibes. And the movie Nerve, it was like fine, but the book, I love the book Nerve. I love Nerve. I love Emma Roberts. I love Dave Franco. I just love Nerve. And I look, got like Nerve vibes, but like the adult version, more serious, like their actual like stakes. So I'm excited. I'm excited to watch people die. We have another thriller. I think this is the last thriller. Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney. I think it's Sarah Caroli who loves Alice Feeney. And I just thought it, so I picked it up. I have no idea what this is about. Absolutely none. So let's read the back together. Daisy Darker's estranged, secretive family is assembling for Nana's 80th birthday party in Nana's crumbling gothic house on a tiny island. Finally back together, one last time. When the tide comes in, they will be cut off from the world for 8 hours. Then, at the stroke of midnight, as the storm rages, Nana's found dead. An hour later, the next family member follows. Trapped on an island where someone is killing them one by one, the Darkers must reckon with the Darkers must reckon with their present danger as well as their past before the tide goes out and all is revealed. So a little like secluded murder on an island. This is like low-key giving summer vibes. This is gonna be added to my summer TBR. I'm happy I'm filming this before my summer TBR. And yeah, Sarah Caroli really likes Alice Feeney. I think it's her, I hope, because if not, I feel like really stupid. So excited to get to this. I'm gonna put this aside. This is gonna go in my summer TBR that I'm gonna be filming literally right after filming this. Next, okay, I've never heard anyone talk about this, but I saw it on Amazon and I'm like, oh my god, this sounds cool. So if you guys like know anything about Greek life, there is Jock Row, where you basically have all the sorority and all the frat houses. But this series is called Jock Row. So it's like, how do I say it? I feel like it's like off-campus vibes with like the houses, but it's like people from different sport teams. So the first book is I want to say baseball. Oh, by the way, it's by Serenay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know much about this book, but just like the concept, like Jock Row, I was like, it seems interesting. It seems cute. It seems fun. So it's gonna be high up. Oh, it's called Jock Hard. That's the thing. The Jock Hard series. I'm intrigued. I'm excited. Oh, speaking of, since we talked about this, I'm gonna go to a book that's like actually about Greek life. It's by Candy Steiner. I think it's a 7-book series. It's the Palm South University series. So this is Rush, once again by Candy Steiner. Ignore a man's on cover. We do not like that. But basically just like follows like a few girls and a few guys in Greek life, and just like from what I understood, it's like you're watching episodes of a show. So in this book, this is like book 1, but it has like 7 sections, which are like 7 episodes. So I feel like it's low-key gonna be like an episode of Greek. Like if you have I think it's on Disney Plus. If you have Disney Plus, go watch Greek. It is so good. And one of my friends, I know she sometimes watches my videos, so I don't know if she's gonna see this, but one of my friends actually told me that the only reason why, I mean, like, maybe not the only reason why, but one of the reasons that she decided to join my sorority is because she saw Greek and she was like, oh my god, like, this is what I want to be a part of. So, you know who you are if you're watching this. And yeah, so I'm super, super excited to get to this. The only thing that kind of, like, worries me is that it might be, like, very, very spicy. And I'm not, like, a huge fan of, like, super spicy things. So a little intrigued, a little, like, meh. But excited either way. I feel like I'm gonna leave this series to the fall. Maybe read, like, the first book in August, and if I like it, just, like, binge everything else before the fall. And yeah, I'm excited to see how to the extreme they go with the whole, like, Greek life thing, because I know, like, what I actually live is nothing like in the movies, like, trust me. But I find it, like, entertaining how just, like, outlandish everyone thinks Greek life is. Next, this book, I'm so excited for it because I found out about this before it even got big. I just never bought it. It's Hooked by Emily McIntyre, and it's basically like a Peter Pan kind of like mafia-esque, not really mafia-esque, but like those vibes retelling. I'm sorry if the angle changed. I had to do something with my camera, but mafia-esque-ish story. And so you have Wendy, who's Peter Pan's daughter, and then Captain Hook, which is like his rival, and it's the romance between Wendy and Captain Hook. And I have a thing for Captain Hook. Like, I don't know what it is, but I just like love Peter Pan, like the story, and just the character of Captain Hook. Honestly, I think it's like maybe Once Upon a Time, but just like the character of him, I'm like hot. I love. So super excited to get to this. Super excited to read the rest of the series. And yeah, I have so many series that I want to start so bad. I just don't have the time. I literally just don't have the time. We have another series. This is Cruel Prince by A. Jade. And what is this about? I don't know. It's the Royal Hearts Academy. I don't know what this is about. I know a few booktubers have talked about this, and I was like, it's intriguing. It's a 4-book series. Let me just read the back to you guys because I honestly do not know what it's about. Welcome to their kingdom. I never thought I'd step foot in Royal Manor again, but 4 years later, here I am, back to finish my senior year at Royal Hearts Academy, and forced to face Jace Covington, my first friend, first crush, first kiss, the one I left behind. Only, he isn't the same boy I gave my heart to. This new Jace is as cruel as he is gorgeous, and he is determined to make my life a living hell. Along with the rest of his glorified family and crew of tyrants, they expect me to worship the ground they walk on, like everyone else, but I'd rather eat dirt. If Jace Covington wants me gone, he'll have to try harder, because I've never been the kind of girl to play by the rules. I'm excited. Next, okay, so there's this series that it was when I started getting back into reading a long time ago that I started it, and I just love the characters so much that I tried to put it off, like finishing the series for so long, but I was like, you know what, just read the last book, finish the series, and just like move on, because Thomas Cresswell is literally everything, and it's the 4th book of the Stalk and Jack the Ripper series. Why is it autofocusing literally on my like T-zone? It's Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco. So this is the 4th book in the series, and I'm like so scared because I don't want it to be gone. Like, no, that does not make sense. I don't want the series to end because I just love Audrey Rose. I love Thomas Cresswell. I just love the vibes. I don't think it's classified as a romance. There's like very little romance, but it's like the little things I get from Thomas Cresswell. Just his attitude, his way of being, his like energy, his aura, his like the banter. It's so good, and it's just like it keeps you hooked because you're like, like you're just waiting for a kiss. You're just waiting for something to happen. Yeah, these are all like different stories in a way, but it follows in chronological order. So I'm not gonna talk that much about it, but please go read Stalking Jack the Ripper. Like, it's so good, and just like finding out who the Ripper was in the story, I will never forget because I was like, what the fuck? I did not see this coming. We have 4 more books. So we have A Simple Wild by Kay Tucker. The only thing I know about this book is that this girl is from Toronto, and her father, he's like sick. I don't know what he has, but he's in Alaska, and she decides to go visit him before he passes. And it's like a little small town romance, I think. I don't know anything else about this book, but I read Say You Still Love Me. If I look for this, because like my bookshelf is like right over there. Say You Still Love Me by Kay Tucker last summer, and it was like a 5-star read. It was so good. I loved it so much. So I want to read her backlist. I feel like I'm probably gonna wait for the fall because it's giving like fall vibes, you know. I'm gonna wait for the fall to read this, but excited to get to that. Did I knock my tripod? I probably knocked my tripod. Next we have Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter, and I remember hearing about this through Larry Reed's, where I think, well, like, what was the video concept? It was like giving story times, but it's like actually the like premise of a book. And she was like, oh, like my apartment just flooded, so I went to my brother's apartment, and it was just like hot, like I don't know, it's like this hot guy got my number, and then we started like texting, and turns out it's like my brother's friend who like I hate his guts or whatever, something like that. But just like how she described it in that video, if I remember the video, I'll link it down below, because I found like just the whole concept so just like wow, and like new and different. I loved it. But I found this from her, and I trust her recommendations. I don't know her rating for this book, but just like again how she described it sounded like super entertaining. So I'm down to read Mr. Wrong Number. Again, I don't know when I'm gonna get to all these books, so I'm not gonna give any promises, but I'm excited for all of these. We have 2 more. So we have a Colleen Hoover book, one of the Colleen Hoover books I have not read yet, which is Layla, and I want to go in not knowing anything. I think I heard this is from the guy's point of view for the first time, like only from the guy's point of view, so I am curious to see how it goes. I honestly don't know what to expect because I feel like I'm gonna get Verity vibes from this, but also I'm like, how would it work? I know there's amnesia in here, and the guy who's the narrator isn't like a trustworthy character, so again, I don't know anything about this before going in, but I'm super excited. And lastly, we have Love in the Time of Serial Killers. So I actually did not hear the best thing about this book, but just the premise, like it sounds interesting, but also My Killer Vacation, I read it last summer, and it was such a disappointment. So I'm a little scared to go into this one. And those are all the books I have to show you guys today. Literally, the shelf that you see behind me, the 3 stories are all books that I have not read. I have like as many books on my TBR than I have books that I've read. And that is terrifying because when the hell am I gonna find time to read all these books? I don't know. But yeah, like I'm not buying any more books, honestly, in the year of 2024. Until 2024. If you see me posting a book haul, honestly, you can unfollow me because like, So I hope you guys enjoyed. All my socials are linked down below, my Instagram, my TikTok, my Goodreads. I post a lot on my Instagram. Like I do post about the books that I'm reading sometimes. So if you kind of want to like keep track with everything I'm doing throughout the month, definitely subscribe. Follow me over there. I am taking summer classes, like pretty intense summer classes. If you don't know, I feel like no one expects this, like seeing me, but I'm actually an engineering major, and I'm taking, it's gonna sound terrifying, but fluid mechanics, and it's such like a heavy class, like it's physics. I'm taking like another class. I'm doing like a bio class as like an elective, so I do have like a lot going on summer one, which is like the month of May and the month of June, but I still want to try to get as many videos out as possible. I'm like pre-filming now that the semester's like just starting, so when I get to my midterms and when I get to exams, like, you know, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I have to film, like I can't post because I haven't filmed, I can't edit, whatever. But yeah, I'm trying to like batch film, can I say that? Batch film like before the semester actually kicks in. So you're probably gonna see a lot of videos in this top. But yeah, ignore that it's like literally the same thing that I'm filming. But once again, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you did, leave a thumbs up, and stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye guys!